Welcome to Show Pop. I have fun breaking down the shows everybody's watching. Today, I'm breaking down episode 4 of Kimora Back in the Fab Lane. I'll start with a thematic overview before moving into my unfiltered commentary and real-time reactions as I watch the episode. I will wrap things up with a concise breakdown of the reoccurring themes, behavior patterns, and relationship dynamics that really stood out. Think of this as the after show to your favorite show, like talking on the phone with your observant and always honest best friend. Before we get into it, I want to talk about, I really want to apologize because I know my mic situation in the last episode recap was really bad. I'm working with a lapel mic and I'm trying to record from my living room with a lapel mic, but the problem is there's too much space and I think the mic gets confused and something happens when I'm doing that. So I'm going to go back to recording on my phone. I did buy one of those special podcast kind of mics that are kind of expensive, but FedEx is useless and my package has been traveling around the continental United States for the last week. So I don't know when I'm going to get my mic. And also I've already pre-recorded and already watched the Kimora Back in the Fab Lane season. So I did all of my work with the lapel mic. So I do apologize. If there's somehow a way I can fix it on my own, I'll try to. But I just ask for you guys to bear with me. The thing is, the content of it is actually really good when I go back and listen to it. And I don't want to rewatch it, not because of time, but because honestly, I give my best feedback and my best work when I do things at that time, if that makes sense. So when I'm watching it for the first time, that's when I really pick up on the traits and the dynamics and the behaviors and the relationship, connections and things like that. And it's not the same when you do it again a second time. So I just wanted to say that real quick and let you guys know I do apologize, but I do have a better mic, and moving forward, there will be better quality audio. So I just wanted to say that. Thanks, guys. Okay, so enough about that. Go ahead and grab a glass of wine and let's get into it. Episode 4 is about the difficult, necessary transition from inherited privilege to earned leadership, and the discipline it takes for a parent to step back so their children can step up. Let's get into the recap. Okay, so I am reviewing episode 4 of Kimora Back in the Fab Lane. Now, this first scene opens up and it appears that they are at They are at Baby Fat headquarters. And it's Kimora and her 2 daughters, Ming and Aoki. I just want to take a moment to congratulate both young women. They're talking about their degrees here. They are both degreed. Aoki has a double degree and she graduated from Harvard. So Aoki has a double degree and she graduated from Harvard, and Ming graduated from NYU. So a round of applause to these young Black women who are educated. And it's important that we celebrate that. So I just wanted to take a little bit of time to say that. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so like I said, they are at Baby Fat headquarters. And Kimora is talking to her daughters about hopes and dreams and goals and plans and strategies for the brand, okay? And the girls are not paying attention at all. Aoki seems slightly engaged, but Ming doesn't seem to be paying attention at all. And Kimora kind of goes in her confessional in this particular scene. She talks about how, her kids are silver spoon children because it's her silver spoon, it's her silver platter. At least she's aware of that. However, what's bothering me in this scene is that the girls don't get it. They really don't get it. Maybe Aoki gets it a little, but Ming, to me, I don't know. It's just if it's just her personality. I know some people that can kind of be nonchalant and just kind of lackadaisical, and they look like they don't care about anything from the surface, but sometimes they do care. They just don't show it well. I don't know if she's one of those people, but they don't seem to get it. Your mom is trying to get you guys more involved in the brand so that you can carry it on. If you're not able to continue the business, you're going to have to come up with something of your own to be able to continue the silver platter lifestyle your mother has provided. Okay? She's trying to make it so that you can continue the life that she's given you long after she's gone. Because one day she will go. God bless her. You know what I mean? We hope not soon. But we all got to go. Okay? We all have to leave this earth at some point. And she's trying to set that up for you guys, and you're not taking it serious. Now, if you want to do other things, you should absolutely let your mother know that you're not interested in being the legacy holder to her business, if that's how they feel, right? But your mother is trying to, well, she's created something that is a powerful brand that can stand the test of time. Now, I don't know where Baby Fat has been in the last few years. I personally don't keep up with the brand that much, and I have been seeing things on social media. People saying that, girl, where's the brand been? All this stuff. I don't know, but it's still here, okay, at the end of the day. And maybe she's using the show to revive it a little bit. I don't know. I think it's a great idea if that's what she's doing. And then getting her daughters involved to continue the brand because they are the next generation. If anybody's going to know about fashion, if anybody's going to know about the trends and all that stuff, it's going to be them. They're at the age group. It's their time. And I don't think the girls are really seeing the opportunity here because, of course, I don't want to make it be like, actually, you know what? It isn't that. Because let me tell you something, there actually are some kids who are silver spoon kids who understand work ethic, who understand legacy, who understand business and the importance of a parent or grandparent passing businesses down to them. They understand that, and they get involved. So it isn't every rich kid that does this sort of, oh, it doesn't matter, I don't need to be bothered. No, it just depends on the type of kids that they are or people or adults that they become and what they were taught when they were younger. So maybe, mothers can tend to coddle their children a little bit too much and love on them, so much, but they don't always raise them. They don't always raise them to be independent, resourceful adults. And I don't know if that's what we're seeing here, but I feel like I'm picking up on that. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, Miss Kimora, she told her kids, y'all need to understand, y'all are living my life. You're not living your life, and you need to stand on your own 2 feet and, be go-getters and go get you a lifestyle. And I'm trying to help you with that. So it looks like she's had that conversation with her daughters. I know that they're still very young, but y'all better snap out of it. Because look at the world today, baby. Y'all both went to college, so that means you guys are educated and aware, I hope, of the state of the United States right now. And things are getting more expensive. People can't afford food. People can't afford insurance, whether it's life insurance, medical insurance, all these things. It's tough out here, okay? If your mom has got something going on that she can help you guys be a part of so that you can make money and eventually take over the business and run it yourself so you can have a sustainable lifestyle and hopefully a high level sustainable lifestyle. I would think that y'all would want to jump on that ASAP Rocky, because when I tell you, it's not any easier out here in these streets. And I do realize that there's a level of privilege that comes with being Kimora Lee's daughter, right? Just for her name alone. But as far as money goes, I don't know. I feel like the way things are going, even for some rich people, it's beginning to get a little bit, I don't want to say hard, that's not the word. I would say this. I don't think that wealthy people are able to move how they were able to move a few years back because of the way things are with the economy right now, right? Yeah, you're still wealthy, but maybe you've had to even pull back a little bit in your life too. Maybe you can't go on 8 trips a year. Maybe you can only go on six. I'm sure that they're having their own things that they're having to cut back on if they're not making even more money, right? So, and I have a feeling that, let's just be honest, you guys, okay? Typically, people do reality shows when they need some type of attention on them or they need money, right? Not necessarily for the money because reality shows don't make a lot, but this is Kimora, so I would think that the network would probably be paying her quite a bit because of her name. But that being said, they're not doing it necessarily for the money of the show. They're doing it because they want they need eyes on whatever they're doing, and I have a feeling that's what's going on here. So it's clear that your mom is trying to get eyes on the business so that it can continue to grow, or if it was in a stagnant place, it can grow from here. So you guys need to be getting involved and paying attention, because at the end of the day, if that business doesn't go well, I don't know how many more of your mom's businesses she can afford to let you guys take over and then not, not continue to do well. Because one day Kimura will be older and she's not gonna want to be doing all this stuff. She's gonna want her kids to do it, but maybe she gets kickbacks off of the stuff because it's essentially hers, right? But if your kids are not paying attention and doing and trying to improve the brand and strategize so that the brand has long-term growth and things like that, well, then you're setting everybody up for failure. Your mama might not have what she needs when she's in 70, 80 years old, or it might be a little less. You guys might not be able to live the lifestyle you thought. So I just think the girls should be paying a little bit of more attention. I know I went on a rant, but that's just all I have to say. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so I am cracking up because it's the next scene, and Ming and Aoki are at aerial yoga. They're at a studio doing aerial yoga. Ming arrives what appears to be on time. I'm not gonna give her that because, honey, I haven't seen her do too many things on time. But she's the first one to arrive. Let's say that, and then Aoki comes a little later. And it is so funny because not Aoki comes in, of course, being irritated that she's late, but Aoki's just so bubbly and free. She does not let that affect her at all. She comes in doing cartwheels, doing all this stuff, and she's just super cute. I just, you know what, my heart really goes out to her. I have like a soft spot for her already because I have a cousin like that, and they really do not mean any harm. They're just living in their own little world, and people like that sometimes can forget that other people are, like, you gotta be more like cognizant of your time, and you don't want to waste people's time, and they really do not mean to be like facetious or disrespectful. They just really kind of just live in this alternate reality where they're just kind of doing their own thing. They're kind of going at their own pace, and sometimes that can be frustrating for the rest of us who are, I don't want to say living in the real world, but we're living in the society that has been given to us, and we're following deadlines and times. And I wish I could be like that. I'll say that because when you're at that level that Aoki is at, you feel a little bit more free. You're not tied and tethered to so many things, right? And you somehow, I feel like people that are like how she is, they are a lot happier because they don't follow every little thing that society deems that they're supposed to do at that time or whatever. That being said, like I said, it could be very difficult for the rest of us. Like Ming, she is. Ming is looking at her sister like, oh. But I mean, what can you do? Aoki, she's just so sweet, and she just la la la. She just is like, living her little life, and I mean, If you want to see her, you're just going to have to, deal with it. Let's keep going. So as we're closing out the yoga scene, the aerial as we close out the aerial yoga scene, I'm noticing the dynamic more between the sisters. Ming is definitely the oldest, and she is definitely the bossier one, for sure. And they both say it. Even Aoki and Ming herself says that Ming has a type A personality, meaning she likes to run things. She likes things to go the way that she wants them to go. And as they're planning this photo shoot that is the responsibility of both Ming and Aoki, and I think it's for Baby Fat, it's clear that Ming is taking the lead. This is the first time I'm seeing Ming kind of step into the role of a leader, because I hadn't seen that yet. And against her mother, not against, but next to her mother, you can see that she's very dependent. But when Aoki is in the picture, I can see a little bit more of her leadership skills. So that's nice to see. Aoki doesn't seem to, well, she says that she has no problem working with her sister, but her sister can kind of take over. That can make sense. And I can understand that as her being a second child, she wants to be considered more moving forward with her. She wants to be considered equal, I think, in what she's doing, not like the second fiddle to Ming. So I can understand where they're coming from. And, I'll say this before I close up this section. Ming did say when they were doing the yoga that she didn't want to help her sister, which I appreciate. I like people who are straightforward. Like, I don't want to help you, girl. But she says she's going to do it because it's for the family. So it's very clear that Ming, did I say Ming? Aoki said that to Ming. Aoki was the one that was saying she didn't want to help Ming, okay? Sorry if I messed that up. I just want to say that it's very clear that Ming has her own mind. I like how autonomous she is. She thinks for herself. She's not a follower of anything, and she speaks up for herself even when it may go against what others feel or the family feels. I've noticed that, and I like that about her. I can appreciate a woman who knows what she wants and what she doesn't want. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so in this next scene, Lala and Kimora are having lunch, and they're talking about the kids, or Kimora is talking about how all her kids are in town and the girls are both in town and how crazy it is. Lala goes on to tell Kimora about how Aoki views her place in the family. It was a very beautiful speech she gave, kind of just telling her, Kimora, her longtime friend, that Aoki feels different. She feels, and how close Ming is to her mom, which I did say that earlier I want to say, if it was not the episode 1 recap, it was my episode 2 recap, where I said that Ming is literally Kimora if Kimora grew up with a silver spoon in her mouth when she was a child. Exact same person, okay? That's what I'm getting from that. And Aoki feels like they're two peas in a pod and she's kind of left out. I feel like that went right over Kimora's head. She said she got it, but then she goes into this whole thing about the girls and the business, and she's hoping that the business what are you hoping? That the business will make them be closer, or that Ming will feel more included? Okay, maybe that's it. Maybe she feels that because Ming feels, excuse me, not Ming. Ooh, child. I'm sorry, y'all. Aoki. So maybe she is saying that she's trying to get the girls involved more in the Baby Fat business so that Aoki won't feel so left out. So I can understand that. Maybe I took it wrong, because at first when I was listening to it, I'm like, girl, are you listening? She's telling you your daughter, your second daughter, feels left out. Feels left out. How are you going to make her feel more included? Because the girl Aoki actually said she feels like she was immaculately conceived like Mary in the Bible child. Okay, I think that's what the reference was when she said Mary. Um, that's saying a lot. Like that's saying something about her dad too, but we're not going to get into that. So that's a huge thing. So that is pretty much what I'm getting from this scene with Lala and Kimora is that Lala is trying to let her friend know, how her daughter feels, and Kimora is working to try to make Aoki feel more included. Let's keep going. Okay, so in this next scene, Kimora is taking Wolf to some type of thing where he can paint a bear. And I just want to say I love that what Kimura is teaching Wolf, because Wolf, being 10, strolls his little self right into the place, closes but when he comes in, he does so without holding the door for his mom. And Kimura, she stood outside until he realized that she was out there and made him come open the door. Now that's right, Kimura. Teach baby boy how to be a gentleman, honey. Okay, so I love that they're having a bonding time. They're talking about when Kimora grew up and what she went through, and Wolf is talking about his life as a 10-year-old, and it's a really beautiful scene and a beautiful opportunity for them to bond, or rather, a beautiful scene of watching Kimora bond with her youngest son. So I like that. Let's keep going. Okay, so in this next scene, and I believe it's going to be the last scene in this episode, the girls, Aoki and Ming, are hosting the baby fat photo shoot. So they are on set. Now, I want to say I am pleasantly surprised at how much control and leadership Ming is taking, because earlier in the episode, she didn't look like she was paying attention at all. She didn't look like she cared. I was going to use a different word. Well, the way I would normally say that she didn't look like she gave a damn. Okay, in the earlier in this episode, but now she is taking the leadership role. She's telling them what exactly she wants, how she wants the what outfits she wants to wear, and how they should be styled together. And I want to say that her and Aoki seem to be working very well together. So that is really, really awesome. Let's continue to see. Sorry about the noise in the background, you guys. I have a little nephew that is staying with me. So just, for all of the aunties out there helping their sisters and brothers out by watching the kids while they're on break, shout out to you guys, okay? I am a helping auntie, and he is moving around the background, but he's doing his best to be quiet, so okay, let's keep going. Oh my God, okay. So again, they are running the photo shoot. So mom is the model for the day. I love how Kimora stepped back in this scene. She really allowed the girls to run the shoot in this scene, okay? So in this particular moment that I'm talking about, Ming and Aoki are on set. They are dressed in their baby fat, what are they called? Jumpsuits? Sweatsuits. They are dressed in their sweatsuits. Those sweatsuits are cute. I kind of want me one. I said that last time, didn't I? So they're dressed in their sweatsuits, and mom is dressed in her sweatsuits, but she's standing on the side. Now they're in front of the camera getting ready to take pictures, and Kimora's like, okay, she's standing there. She's looking like she's acting like any model in that moment, waiting to be directed. So what I want to point out in this moment is that Kimora is a very good follower. And in order to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower as well, because not all the time are you going to be leading. You need to be able to do both in order to be a good leader. So all the time, being a leader doesn't mean leading each and every time. It also means being able to step back and follow. So in this moment, she is showing her following skills, and baby, she knows how to follow. So she's sitting back quiet, waiting for her daughters, to give her direction. And then, when she realizes that her daughters don't really know what to do next, she kind of lets them know, like, well, you guys are running this thing. What do you want me to do? And that's when they kind of snap out of it, like, okay, mom, come stand here. So I just want to take a moment to acknowledge what I saw here, because it's very powerful. She is really letting these girls step in and make decisions. And I love that, because as a mom and a mogul, the mogul that she is, it's very easy to always want to do everything and always be the one making the decisions, okay? But she is stepping back and allowing her girls to step into that role, and she's doing it so effortlessly to me in this particular moment. She doesn't seem frustrated. She doesn't seem anything. She just seems like someone who is allowing the girls to lead, and I love it. Let's keep going. So this last scene closes out with the mom and her two daughters taking some very fabulous photos in baby fat. And I just want to say that Ming did a great job with her leadership. I thought Aoki was a great teammate in it. I think the girls did a great job. I was really hard on them in the beginning of this review, or rather in the beginning of this commentary. But you know what? I want to see them win. I want to see them be even bigger and better than their mother. And she's pretty darn big. So I want to see the girls be able to how do they say? I want to see Kimora be able to successfully pass the torch to Ming and Aoki, and them be able to successfully carry that torch. And I think that they did a great job, despite in the beginning that they seemed a little confused and nonchalant, like they didn't care. They, especially Ming seemed like she was a bit apathetic. But when it came down to business, they were able to do it. And Kimora talks about how proud she is of them and how she wants to be able to allow them to do these things, to take more leadership roles and, just step in it and really take care of business. Now, I want to end here with just a recap of this episode, or rather like a summary of what I saw. The main thing that I saw in this episode was leadership. I saw a mother allow her daughters to step into the leadership role in the business and take the reins. And that was a really beautiful thing to see. I saw her pushing her daughters to step into leadership roles in the business and to be more active in the family business and take on more. And I really enjoyed that. That's something that I don't know that I get to see that all the time in family shows like this, in family reality shows. So to see her encouraging her daughters not only to step into leadership role, but seeing her actively step back and allow them to do so and make mistakes without correcting them. I never once saw Kimora correct either one of her daughters or interfere in any way. She sat back as a follower and allowed her daughters to lead. And it was really a very beautiful episode. As a matter of fact, I feel like it's a very good episode that anybody who's into this type of shows should really go. If you don't want to watch the entire season, go and watch this episode, because it's really powerful what she's doing here. And I think that we can all stand to learn something from Kimora in this moment, because if you're going to set your children up to take on businesses and things that you have accumulated to help them to continue the legacy and to continue to build familial wealth and generational wealth, you're going to have to allow your children to not only lead, but to make mistakes, and you have to follow. And that's exactly what she did here. I thought it was fabulous. I loved the episode. It was very, very good, and I feel like I got a lot from it. So that's pretty much what I got. Didn't really see, I know a lot of times I always say like there's 2 or 3 things that I noticed, but for this particular episode, I think the main and overarching theme was really and truly
leadership, and followership. And I think we could all stand to learn something from it, whether you're a business person, whether you're in a family that you're trying to pass this on to your kids, whether you're a kid who is a legacy holder for your family. I just feel like everybody could get something from this episode. It was really good. And that's pretty much it. So that's my sum up of episode 4 of Kimora Back in the Fab Lane.
Episode 4 of Kimora Back in the Fab Lane explores what happens when legacy meets readiness. As the episode unfolds, the focus shifts from frustration to patience. Kimora does something many parents and leaders struggle to do. She steps back. Instead of directing every move, she allows her daughters space to lead, to hesitate, and to figure things out in real time. And in that space, both Ming and Aoki begin to show who they are. Ming emerges as a natural decision maker once responsibility is placed in her hands, while Aoki brings creativity and ease to the collaboration when she feels included rather than controlled. By the end of the episode, it becomes clear that this wasn't about a photoshoot or even fashion. It was about learning when to lead and when to follow, about trust, and about the slow, sometimes awkward process of passing the torch. Episode 4 feels less like reality TV and more like a quiet lesson in generational growth. And that's what makes this episode one of the most meaningful episodes so far. And that sums up episode 4 of Kimora Back in the Fab Lane. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. In the meantime, enjoy the outro music, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.